Hello, everyone. So I'm Miroslav. I'm a product director, and I am also co-founder of Fortia. So who we are? Fortia is a RegTech company. We are based in Paris, and we build systems using artificial intelligence to help companies automate regulatory requirements and regulatory processes. So how we do that? Our algorithms that we build are able to understand documents and financial data and translate them into some executable instructions to oversee and alert on day-to-day operations and transactions in financial products. So this helps our clients to align much faster with new regulations. There is a lot of pressure from regulators on that. And also, it helps them to reduce the time to onboard new clients or to launch new products on the market. So how do we do that? We use different types of techniques. We hear a lot today about AI, machine learning, deep learning. More precisely, we use these techniques to extract information. We use natural language understanding, natural language generation. We can produce documents out of data. Computer vision to detect hidden information in pictures, tables, and also time series analysis, which is very useful to detect abnormal values in some pricing. Today we are helping companies in the fund industry. We work a lot with global asset servicers, investment managers, and we have solutions around automation of compliance. We have solutions around automation of data, improving the quality of data, and analysis of the quality of the data. I will use this session to show you some practical examples of how we do this. So you will see some live environments with some of our products. So here, this is what we call the rule detection. In this document, this is a document of a fund, and inside the document there are policies and guidelines this fund must comply with. So we have trained our algorithms to be able to automatically extract these guidelines and also to provide some confidence score to facilitate the person who will read this document to very quickly find out which are those policies and record them in the system and monitor them. This is something available in multiple languages as well, which is a challenge. We need to do it in English, in French, in German, and depending on the markets where we want to use these technologies. This use case here is what we call the autocompletion. Here we are translating some guideline into executable code. So for doing this, we are able to detect what asset classes are used in a guideline. For example, we have a fund which will invest only in securities in Europe. So any investment outside this eligible assets should be defined as an alert, and a team should be alerted about this. And of course, we are able to link this to operational data. The challenge there is that there is no standard on the market, or there are few standards, so we have to use artificial intelligence to automatically match what's written in the text with the data of our clients. Next one is a use case called the fund reader, and in the fund reader we detect any key information that is useful for the regulatory processes. It could be names, like here you see we have a fund, and inside we have many features like actors, so these are companies, like the auditor of this fund, the management company of this fund, and we have trained the system to automatically capture this information and provide it into some machine-readable format. So it could be like JSON format. It could be used also to detect some issues in the quality of data, like fees. Here we have a table with fees. We can extract all the fees and compare it to fees existing in our database and spot the difference automatically. Next one is natural language generation. as we are using data from documents, we are able to train our machines to generate documents themselves. So in the example that I'm going to show you, we have modelized any type of information that's available for a fund. So you may see this. We have the names, the strategy of the fund, risks, benchmarks, fees, and all this information can be input in the system. So there are like 50 mandatory fields that we have to input inside. And afterwards, the system will be able to entirely generate a new document using AI. So there is no template being used for that. It's only being processing existing documents, matching strategies of funds or risk taken on different markets. So you will see that. That document, it's entirely generated by the AI, and there are different sections inside, and each section will use one or more information from the original data fields. And we can provide this as a document and also as a set of data to be integrated into another system. Time series analysis. So what we can do with time series analysis is, I already mentioned, is to detect some abnormal values. So if you load historical data of many financial products, let's say 2, 3, 4 years, what we can do with that is compare this to peers. So it could be families of similar ones or benchmark or indices on the market. And on a day-to-day basis, detect abnormal values there and alert teams about these differences. So this can really reduce the time to investigate a lot of information or a lot of false positive results coming out of existing systems. Did not start the video. And you see you can load all the historical data you have for existing funds. It could be prices, it could be performance, it could be other data you want to monitor. It could be also used for data quality alerts. And then you see we are able to spot to spot whenever the values of the time series are outside the bounds of the defined by the machine. And the last system I want to show you is the Anova Process. So that's our platform where we are able to automate an end-to-end process. Because our goal there is not only to use AI to streamline 1 or 2 processes, is to understand what is the use case and what the business is doing from end to end. Of course, whenever you have a new requirement, you have to onboard a client, you have to onboard a fund. In that case, you are going to define this into some workflow, and you want this to be executed somehow by the machine. So on our platform, we have many different features which are available. We can manage different types of documents. We can collect data from many different sources to feed our algorithms, and then provide some actionable insights to make sure the process is being executed from end to end. And that data is being archived, and everything is kept into a single audit trail. So in this example, we have, for example, a new fund request. So you have to create a new fund. So there are many different teams within the organization that will collaborate to create this fund. So some people will input some data, some people will write some documents, and then all this could be automated on the platform. And at every single step of the process, we can use some of the examples I showed you. So what's the challenges behind integrating such kind of system? I think that today, whenever we work with clients, they already use a lot of existing technology. You have a lot of risk calculation engine available. You have a lot of data warehouse, regulatory reporting. And of course, all these tools are there to serve day-to-day operations. However, whenever you have increasing complexity, in higher expectations from investors, when you have more and more regulations, and you have also business operations in many different world regions, then it becomes a real issue on how to industrialize the whole process. and how to onboard very easily one product. And we use the platform to create a new type of model office for organizations. So we already do this in France. Now the company is growing. We have now started a few projects here in London. And we are really proposing to review the existing way of processing regulatory data and building this using AI in a new type of model office for the industry. So that's what I can share with you. And I'm happy to be here and to show you all these use cases that are now available.